us, and Adam is going to explain in detail for us about the IM laser, what is the function, or what are the technical question you are facing, especially engineers. When you're trying to promoting to them, they throw you some question, and or some people they don't understand what is cold laser mean. So they will simply throw you some question. Why your laser light only got 5, mine got 10. 10 is more powerful, right? All the funny question like that, which is not true. I tell you, there's some physics behind it. 10 means doesn't mean more powerful, more dangerous effect. Okay, and then still there are people, they will argue with you. Oh, this is also LED laser, right? Same, right? Because you guys are MLM and you sell it at a very high price. That's not true also. Okay, 一分钱二分货 cheap thing never good and good things never cheap. Okay, if one day you're coming, you try to sell me something which is very cheap and you want me to promote it, normally I won't, because throughout my whole life, from my sales experience, my sales life, all the time I'm selling expensive goods. Simply a product which have a value, then only they can sell at a higher price, a premium price. Simply put, right? Lamborghini, they never advertise in newspaper, or they never advertise on all these TV advertisement, right? Because if they advertise in front of TV, that is the wrong target group. Those people, they want to buy a Lamborghini, or they want to buy a Ferrari or Rolls Royce. They will not look at the advertisement. Advertisements are mainly for some, okay lah, most upper middle class people buying BMW or Mercedes. So it's important, very important for us. Like we are selling, we are promoting, we are sharing a very good product, medical device. The only company which obtained ISO 13485, and we are the only company we obtain this certification. So of course, if you want to promote a medical device, then you must at least you must know a little bit about the technical specification of our product. So today we again we are very glad we have Adam here to further explain in detail for us about the advantages, the technical specification of our IM laser. And on the later part, we have a Q&A also, right?
Yep.
Am I right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So get ready, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, get ready your question as Adam is explaining. Get ready, and you can throw the question to him. I'm very sure you will get a very an answer which is fully satisfy you and your customer. Okay, so without further delay, I would like to pass time to Adam. Hi, Adam. Oh,
Okay,
I saw
hi.
Andrew there. It looks like you are ready for the show.
Yes,
okay,
I'm ready.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you very much, Caleb. Hello, everyone. First of all, thank you very much for taking your time off to connect with us. On behalf of the company, I also would like to take this opportunity to wish everyone a very happy new year, and especially a successful year. Not forgetting also 恭喜发财 So I wish everyone good fortune and good health always. Today, I'm going to do a kind of a discussion. I won't call it a presentation. I want to discuss with you in this presentation, where I want to talk about the title is Discover the Uniqueness and Competitive Advantage of Laser, IM Laser. Before I begin, let me just, I think you can see on the left side here, we have this product, right? I do not know whether you are aware that we have these two very unique products. These are very interesting and quite a nice product now, and I don't know why these are not taken advantage of. Because if you understand, the AGX is very suitable for your during this COVID time, and of course this PSR, because recently I was under the sun for a long time. This is my experience. I was under the sun for a long time, and when you're under the sun for a long time, you get this kind of like a bombing kind of headache. After I drink this less than 20 drops, I drink this less than half an hour, my headache is gone. Now he explained why, because inside here, actually, if you understand, this PSR helps us to produce more oxygen in your body. So therefore, it will what we call that, it will help us in our health, especially building up our immune system. So I encourage you all, because I know that some of you actually maintain this product. Please do use it, use them. At the same time, I want to take opportunity to advertise our Fortico. Remember, Fortico just launched. I tell you, you'll be amazed on the things that Fortico can help us. So do drink them quite regularly. Okay, and of course our CV8, our top producing product. This CV8 is we're going to be promoting this product. In fact, we are having a very special campaign to help with this product. At the same time, also we are actually inviting a few speakers, right, to give a talk on this product. So stay on to wait for our news, and then can join us for this special talk. Okay, now go back to our today's discussion. Now I'm going to talk about this our competitive advantage. Of course, this topic was actually raised because I think a few weeks ago, about 2-3 weeks ago, I have actually saw some of the advertisement in the Facebook talking about other quite similar product to us. Now, first of all, let me tell you something. I cannot compare. I wouldn't want to compare our product with theirs because ours is much superior. Why? Because for your information, our product is actually 3-in-1 therapy. Theirs is 1 or 2, so it's 2 different products. However, it is also important that we recognize this, and then we want to know how to answer to our people. At the same time, also we also hope that those people, especially our new members who came in, they do not know how to, when they are faced with this kind of problem, they know how to answer. What are the answers? What are the points they should raise to tell them? Okay. Okay. Now, for these people who are joining for my during this talk, I assume that you people are consider already know about IM Laser. That means you are actually attending advanced class. Why I say advanced class? Because all this information that I'm going to tell you is a little bit technical, but don't worry, I'll try to make it as simple as possible. At the same time, also, the reason why I say it's actually advanced class, because over here we're not going to ask question like, hey, whether this one can or not, this one can or not. No, IM Laser already been proven, has been scientifically proven to be effective, can do a lot of things. And here I want to elaborate a bit. So my presentation, I'm going to start off with telling you a little bit about some update. Okay, now Vantros our Vantros IM Laser is actually a registered medical device. And what are to talk about this competitive advantage? First of all, I want to go a little bit about the background, the history of this IM Laser, so that you understand a little bit, and then you will you will add on to your confidence in this IM Laser. Now, just a short update. This is a latest science update. Now, as you know, IM Laser, there are many words to describe this therapy. Sometimes they use it, the low-level therapy, cold laser therapy. In fact, there are more than 60 other names they use to describe this type of therapy. That means our IM Laser therapy. Okay, now because of this, it causes a lot of confusion. That is why in 2016, a group of scientists, a group of doctors, they came together, and then they know that this is a very important therapy. In fact, they are actually becoming the mainstream in the mainstream medical science. Become mainstream. It's no more like a myth or something like whether you can how to say. Whether this is not based on magic or whatsoever. They already recognize there is scientific evidence that this is actually proven scientific, that they can help in helping in our, benefit to our health. So because of this, they came up with one, they actually summarized, and they found out that the best way to describe this therapy is photobiomodulation therapy, PBMT. So in future, if you can use this word, photobiomodulation therapy, not just low-level laser therapy. In fact, there was one argument, when you say low-level laser, some of them will say, oh, this is actually very low class, there is no class, low class kind of therapy, so it doesn't give the right. In fact, photobiomodulation is actually a very high level type of so-called scientific treatment, so it's not low class. And also some of them, when they read the word laser, they get very frightened. Laser means they get very frightened. Wow, something that can be quite damaging. So that is why, because of this, after many rounds of discussion, after many round of meeting, they finally came out with a word that says that photobiomodulation therapy. So from then onward, it became photobiomodulation, and this has been registered. In fact, had been already submitted to the National, Library of the Medicine in the USA. So you type this photobiomodulation, you can see a lot of journals and everything relating to this therapy. Now, of course, there are certain people, they also use photomedicine, but doesn't matter because photomedicine is another alternative. But this alternative makes it like a medication where you need doctors. In fact, that is not necessary, because if you understand our IM laser, then you can see that our IM laser has been built for household purpose. All right. So let me just go briefly a little bit, because these are very important definition for everyone to understand. Okay, photobiomodulation, PBM, is the mechanism by which non-ionized, this is very important, non-ionized. This word here, this word non-ionizing optical radiation. Non-ionized means they are not powerful light. So don't worry. The point is here, I want to highlight, it will not cause cancer. Because we are using non-ionized light and the near-infrared spectrum range to absorb by endogenous chromosome. Now, what does it mean? That means this light only works if in our body we have these so-called chromophores. Okay, later on I'll explain to you how does it work. To elicit photophysical and photochemical events at various biological scale. Now, this photobiomodulation therapy, how it works is, just for example, I give you another example. Now, one of they call it the powerful biological pathway of the light is what, it's actually the eye. When you see something, right, the light goes into your eye and then it hit the retina. Retina contain a lot of this, we call it the chromophore, which is the light sensitive agent there, light sensitive molecule inside this. And this retina, what happened? They will transfer, and then they will kind of react, and then they will process the information to your head, and immediately you feel happy, you see beautiful one, or you feel sad, or you feel very excited, or you feel very energetic. This just by simple light that goes to your eye, you will have this kind of so-called body reaction. So in short, what makes this kind of a reaction is because of the chromophores in your retina. So this is one of the example. In the same way, our skin and in the body, we have a lot of parts where they have these so-called chromophores. So the chromophores is actually a very important molecule, or they call it the molecule in the body that is light sensitive. Sensitive means they are receptor. They are the one they're going to receive your light, and then they're going to do a lot of more. Either they do a modulation or they do stimulation and whatsoever. So these are all, they call it the photophysical and photochemical event. I hope you understand. Now, another word that I want to introduce today is actually known as the photodynamic therapy. Now, this is different from photobiostimulation, because why I want to introduce, because as I was reading, I find that this very interesting. Now, you see, we are talking about photobiomodulation. We are talking about the chromosome inside our body. Photodynamic, they are talking about chromosome outside the body. What does it mean? That means these are actually therapy used to treat or to treat those cancer. What they do is that they inject they call it the exogenous type of chromosome, the external chromosome into your body, and this and then this chromosome will actually gather around at the they call it the cancerous area, and then they shine the light. And when the light is shine on this chromosome, the chromosome will react, and then they will treat, or they will actually destroy, and then they will take away all the cancerous cell. So you see the what do you call it, the similarity. So in short, in fact, this photodynamic therapy, laser, is actually a laser therapy used to to treat cancer, they uses the chromosome, but they are external. They actually man-made, but whereas our body, we have our own chromosome, which is actually body built-in one. So they have from outside and from inside. So for photobiostimulation modulation therapy, we requires chromosome to help us. They call it the light receptors, the sensitive receptors to help us to do the necessary repairs or adjustment. I hope I can explain to you. Now this is just about the latest update. Now, in order to understand what is our IM laser, because I had to emphasize again, because just now remember I mentioned about other people one, the inferior one. Of course, I'm not trying to compare. I'm not trying to make downgrade them. But the reason why we cannot compare with them, because over our side we are talking about 3 therapies. No? Actually, what are 3 therapies? We are actually integrating the Western, which is the PBM therapy, started in 1928. With the Oriental, which is the acupuncture, and also the magnetic therapy. So we are actually integrating. That means IM laser, as you know, it stands for integrating medicine. They are actually integrating all these 3 therapies in become one, so that they can perform the therapy up to the standard that we want. Okay, so you can hear, I can mention that here, the PBM was actually started in the 1920s. So it's about 80 over years, 90 years already. Acupuncture is 1971. Since I'm talking about laser acupuncture. Acupuncture is actually 5,000 over years, but laser acupuncture is about 1971. So it's about 40 years, 40 years of history. And then the magnetic therapy, which is about 2,000 years ago, because the first people or the first person to practice magnetic therapy are the Egyptian. In fact, they call it the black stone therapy. So these are anyway. In short, I'm trying to say that by having these 3 therapy, that's why we call it the ultimate therapy. Okay, and we are the one and only one in the world to have this kind of therapy. So I want to add to your confidence, we have this special. Now, in order to understand now, sometimes a lot of, as we approach our customer, after they use it, they have this kind of different reaction. Let them understand this is a therapy. Okay, what is a therapy? A therapy is the treatment intended to relieve or heal a disorder. So this is a very important explanation. So when a therapy is done, it's not like a medication. You just take it and then you get like a painkiller, you get it done. No, it doesn't work that way, because it takes time. Now, I've done a lot of reading and I've done a lot of research. I tell you, I'm so amazed by this light energy, or they call it the light therapy, especially the red light therapy. I don't know whether you still remember, the show Star Trek. Remember they used the light that actually heal the wound, everything. Hey, actually, right now they are using this, the quite similar one, but they don't get it. They don't get immediate kind of like your wound close up together immediately. Probably they takes about 1 or 2 weeks. But I believe in the near future, this can be happening. You know what? I told you, if you are able to introduce a very good so-called or very light sensitive kind of chromosome in the body, which can actually receive the light and it react very fast. Can you imagine what kind of a treatment or what kind of correction in the body the chromosome can do? So I believe at that time, when the time comes, they will invent some kind of special chromosome to put in the body. The moment the light shine, it can repair everything probably in 1 hour or half an hour. It's possible, very, very possible. And I also found out that the light, actually we are actually exposed to light energy. They call it the electromagnetic spectrum every day, every second. The moment you open up your eyes, you can actually experience. It's just that you take for granted you didn't know. So all these are actually very important facts that you must understand. So the light energy that we are talking about, the red light energy, is part of the light spectrum that you're talking about. Okay. Now, of course, okay. Now, in this slide, actually, I prepared because I want to show you what is the red light energy, what they call the red light treatment, or they call it the photobiomodulation, the wavelength that we are using. If you look at the visible, you can see here in the sunlight has 3 categories of light. The spectrum, the sunlight spectrum has 3 categories: the ultraviolet, visible, and infrared. So you notice that the visible, which is the sunlight, you notice the visible light, you have 7 colors, remember? Now, out of these 7 colors, there's one color that's red color. Now, that is the range that we are taking, about 650. And they found out that this 650 lights, nanometer light, is very unique. No? If they apply it into the body, especially on the surface of the skin or even at any places that is that actually applied to, there is a kind of photobiomodulation effect taking on. And how do they do? I think you all know already, the mitochondria and so forth and so forth. But what is more important that I want you all to realize that when, if this light is from this category, which is the visible light, what does it mean? These are non-ionized light. They are non-ionized means they won't cause cancer. So you can use it without any fear. Very, very safe. That is why people who attend this class now, you must tell people, don't worry, they will not cause any cancer because we are using non-ionized light. Okay, this is the first point that I want to highlight. Okay. Then I will talk about, okay, in this slide, I want to show you, especially, I think you also know that in our training, we mentioned about the mitochondria, which is the one that actually absorb the light. The most important one is where now? It's here. Remember the cytochrome, which is also what? Is also the chromophores. They are all inside here. These are the ones that actually absorb the light, that actually cause the stimulation effect that produce more ATP, nitric oxide, and ROS. Remember that? This is the one that they call it the inner membrane. See the inner membrane? This is the one that. So this inside here, what causes them to stimulate? It is because of the chromophores inside here. So in short, you must understand if we recognize that light is actually has to be absorbed by the body, only they can react. And what are the things that inside the body that can cause the reaction is the chromophores. Okay, the chromophores are. So in short, I want to emphasize, I want you all to understand, sometimes you may say, hey, how come, later on I'll go into deeper, how come people, they did with this light, there are so many kind of reaction to the body, how come there is this so-called photobiomodulation taking action? The reason is because of the special, what do you call that, a chromophores agent in the body. Okay? So far, so good, All right. Hope everybody understand. Now, okay, now we talk about what do you call that, the issue about this IM laser. Now, after this, actually through this presentation, I hope to answer 3 very important questions that people may ask. Number 1 question is that, is it what you are having, that means IM laser that you're having, is it the right device? That means for people who haven't bought it, when they look for this device, they must ask themselves, is this the right device? That means the right device. And then second question, is this device comes with the right dosage? Right device, right dosage. And then the third question I hope to answer also, why is it that you buy IM laser, Vantros IM laser? So this presentation will give you the understanding of the 3 questions that you may have in your mind. Okay. Now, in order to understand whether this device is suitable or not, or is the right device, first of all, you must know the light sources used in the delivery of the light therapy. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Okay, these are the various light sources marketed under the category of light therapy. We are talking about light therapy, there are many color light, but we are talking about here is actually the red color light, the red color therapy. Now, first of all, we are talking about this, the first most, or they call it the best option of light source is called the gallium aluminium arsenide. They call it GAAIA. GAAIA. Now, this is actually the laser light that produces the most, or they call it the best choice of laser light. Of course, they are. Hold on. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Okay. Second one, they call it they have another type of light they use for this equipment. They call it super luminous diodes, SLD. These are okay, but they are suited only for what? For superficial tissue only. Now, why laser is better? Because they can penetration up to 5 cm. Now, super SLD is actually best suited only for superficial tissues. So anything, any problem down below the superficial layer, you cannot achieve. You cannot get it. You cannot do anything about it. Okay. The next, of course, the third one, which they normally use in making their equipment, they use light emitting diodes, or they call it the LED. LED are very, very superficial. That means they are just doesn't go to any depth at all. It can be very effective only to a certain level only. But if you want to use it for other purpose like photobiomodulation in terms of building up your ATP and whatsoever, you need something like a laser. Okay. And the last one, actually, sometimes they use a cluster applicator. It's a combination of the above light. That means they combine with super luminous and light emitting. So they are actually considered one of the fourth level. So the best of the choice the best option for producing or for use under the therapy device is the laser light. Okay. Now, of course, to understand why is it that we want to use laser light, why not LED and whatsoever, there is a reason. The reason because of the characteristic of laser. What are the characteristics of laser? First of all, laser has this characteristic. They are monochromatic. That means that they are actually travel in same and single wavelength and same color. That is why our color is always red color, never change green, blue, yellow, just red color. They are all same because they are monochromatic, same, all in the same direction. Okay, just for your information, when I was looking at the wavelength, it looks like like a wave. I never start to think about it now until recently. Actually, even though it looks so simple and like a wavy length, actually these are actually light wavelength. Light, you know how fast is light wavelength? It's actually 300,000 kilometers per second. Even it looks so actually it's very, very fast because it's the speed of light. That is why it is very important to use the right equipment to do your photobiomodulation. Okay. The second characteristic of laser is they call it the collimated. That means the light goes in unidirectional. That means one direction and you all same one directional. They are not being scattered. They don't go many like open up here and there. They are very straight. They are very focused. They are all together one. The third characteristic of laser is actually coherent. So coherent, why? Because the energy wave, they work in togetherness and give you the right power, the right accuracy. So in short, why is it that the device, maybe I say before you buy the right device, you want to make sure that they have this so-called only uses the laser diodes. Why? Because laser diodes have this characteristic, and these three characteristics are very, very, very important for to have an effective photobiomodulation therapy. Okay. Now, there's also a few points that I want to highlight about this light. In fact, why this laser characteristic is very important. Now, there are actually four possibilities. See, when we shine a light on the skin, shine a light on the skin, there are four possibilities. I call it the ARTS light dispersion. What are the possibilities? First, the light goes in, they will be absorbed. Absorbed at the top level, second level, or whatsoever, it doesn't matter, but it will be absorbed. So the light will be absorbed at first level, second level, or third level, it doesn't matter, but it will be absorbed. Whether it's first level, then you lose out. Then the second possibility, the light will be reflected. That means the moment you apply on your skin, on your hand, the light will be reflected. Why it reflected? Like for example, one of the reasons get reflected is because your skin is actually very oily, or sweaty. or some kind of a layer there that actually prevent 100% of going into your body, so you'll be reflected. So it is also very important, especially for you all members, to realize that these are the 4 possibility of light, so that when you treat on your customer, I would advise you every time they use it, clean your hand first. Let me clean up, wash it, so that, or you use a wet cloth to clean your hand, to take away all your the sweat, or even the oil and whatsoever, so that you have a 100% penetration. So the third possibility is what? Transmitted. That means nothing blocks you. That means the ray actually, or the laser light goes through your to your skin, to all the parts of the body, right through to where you want it to be. And the last possibility is scattered. Sometimes the light they actually goes in and then they get scattered. You know why it gets scattered? Because it could be the way the people they have hairy hair. Their hands are very hairy, or even the surface of their skin are hairy, or the surface they are very dark, or the surface or they are quite fat. When they are fat, you have a layer of fats. The fats can be the one that actually scattered the light too. So it is very important to understand this ARTS light dispersion, so that you know when you apply you use your IM laser, you know how to use it the correct way, more properly. Then you take this into consideration. I hope you understand that. Okay. The next one. So now we have finished with the correct equipment. That means that the equipment must have first of all, you must have the right diode. That means laser diode, the best to have the best efficacy. Now we talk about the key parameter of PBM. Now we talk about what? Whether your machine or the device that you are using has the right treatment parameter or not. Remember the right dosage? We have the right device. Now we are talking about the right dosage. Whether this device gives you the right dosage. So talk about dosage. What are the parameters? I mean, what are the guidelines? You must have this. If you don't have this, you fail. That means you don't have your device don't have the right dosage. Even you use long time also no use, or you use it can be very dangerous. There are many reasons. Okay. Now first of all, the first parameter is the wavelength. Because the wavelength itself, you will determine the depth of the penetration, whether it goes how far and how deep. Remember, I told you, light actually they touches the skin. There are 4 possibilities: absorption, remember, reflection, transmitted, and lastly what? Scattered. So if anything of these so all we want, of course, we wanted to go to the transmitted one, the T, because it can goes to the place that we want it to go. So to do to conduct the necessary photobiomodulation, that's what we want. So the penetration is very important. So the right wavelength is very important. Second is we're talking about the energy density. How long you use over time, the surface you use. These are actually a combination of many parameters, because sometimes if I don't know others ours we have designed our device and our power and our energy are all balanced already. We already at that we actually have built a so-called safety guideline, safety threshold, which means that our device can never go overdose. I do not know others, but ours already we have this, they call it the safety threshold. So in terms of energy density, we need the right energy density to have the right so-called the most efficient photobiomodulation therapy. Overdose can be very dangerous. It may cause tissue damage, and in the long term can cause a lot of other health issues. So this is one of the very important points. The parameter of the PBM, you must have the right energy density parameters. Okay. The third one is actually the time, the treatment time. The time of this duration, I mean the way, how long you treat and how long they must have a specific kind of so-called the timing that you use to treat your to use your machine to perform the photobiomodulation. So we are talking about in our device we have what we have 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes and 40 minutes. We don't have 50, right? Because we know that 50 minutes can be not necessary anymore. At 40 minutes, it will automatically cut off. That is a threshold. Okay. Now the fourth one is actually whether your lights, your so-called the laser light comes with continuous or pulse emission. Now, of course, the reason why is because you see in our device we have four density. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3. The difference is you can see the speed of the pulse increases as you go up lah. The last one is actually the continuous pulse. The continuous pulse is for what? Uses for other purpose, like for example for they call it target treatment and whatsoever. In fact, the recommended now, for example, when you are wearing on your wrist, right, on your wrist, and also doing your intranasal treatment, the third intensity is the third intensity is good enough already. Why? Because they already our equipment has been designed in such a way to perform sufficient therapy when you uses the third intensity. The fourth, which is the continuous, they are actually used for they call it for continuous. They call it target treatment and other purposes. Okay. Now effective. So continuous and pulse light actually is very effective for penetration, fast acting, and no heating. Okay. And last but not least is the output power. The output power is a very important parameter in a PBM device. Ours every one of them is actually 5 milliwatt. It's very, very small, but it's sufficient enough. So they are actually in all their five. You look at it, there are 5 light aperture in our device. Why not 10? Now there's a reason. Or why not 20? If let's say more light the better, I don't want to put 10, I put 30 because more lights, correct? Why I put 10 and why I put 5? The reason, there is a reason, because we know that remember the energy density is a very important consideration when you do photobiomodulation. The efficacy in terms of surface area and in terms of penetration, they call it. So these are all the parameters that we need to understand, So sometimes when a person say, hey, I have 10 lights, it's much better, much stronger than your 5. I tell them, no, you should ask for 20 because 20 more powerful. But you must understand, because powerful doesn't mean good. Powerful, it can cause a lot of other damages too. Okay? So I hope that with this explanation, the output power is a very important parameter because it will affect other parameters of the treatment too. Okay, and also if your power output is so low, especially the LED type and the others, what happens? That means the efficacy it takes a longer time, or even they have no effect at all. That means they won't actually they won't perform the photobiomodulation. So it is very important. You must have the right power, the right output power. Okay. Now, this is a very important statement because, like I said, why I talk about these key treatment parameters, because these are the so-called dosage, and dosage is one of the very important so-called reason or the important point to consider when you are using or designing your photobiomodulation design. Because you look, remember this book writer. He mentioned, Tuner and Hoods, he stated that dose is a very complicated issue. Dose is a very complicated issue. It is a matter of wavelength, power density, type of tissue, condition of tissue, chronic or acute problems, pigmentation, treatment technique, and so forth. So the dosage that you are actually designing of this, they have to take into consideration many issues. Including pigmentation, that means the color of your skin also. That is why those people who are a bit darker, maybe they need longer period of time, and then they need more powerful one. That means a longer time with more higher intensity. So these are the issues. So anyway, don't have to worry because our design, the design of our this IM laser has taken into consideration all these things that Tuner and Holtz have highlighted. Okay. Now we have finished. We have talked about the right device. Now we talk about what is the right dosage, right? Now we also must consider, in order to see whether your equipment is good or not, we also have to consider your body. The body the body also very important. You may have the right equipment, right dosage, but your body also. Now I'm telling you this so that you also realize that when you kind of approach your customer, you must let them understand, yes, we have a very good device, but the body itself, you must have a few things that we must consider, the parameters, and then we must consider this parameter so that we will know how to conduct the photobiomodulation more efficiently. So the key parameters are to achieve adequate irradiance and dose of light in our body. First of all, what are they? Okay, the condition of the problem that you are treating. For example, if your condition is very deep inside, for example, there's a pain deep inside your hand or whatsoever muscles, you need a very good, like for example, our IM laser, who is actually a very good penetration, because they are 650 nanometer. To address that, they can actually go in. So for they call it the super SLD or LED type, they cannot, because they are only surface only. So LED and superficial, they cannot perform this kind of photobiomodulation. It's only the laser can conduct. And also the condition of the inflammation, has been there for a long time? Is it old injuries or whatsoever? It could be a very old problem that actually deteriorated. So you also need to understand what kind of condition of this treated. Then only you know how to apply the right dosage to the particular condition. Okay, we actually, if you notice, we actually come up with a few. These are the do's and how to treat all the condition of the body, right? Remember, those are the things that we use to, we actually give a guidance to all the people who wants to learn how to treat or how to use it for the general health and so forth. The next one, actually, the next parameter that we need to understand from our body point of view is the absorption characteristic of an intervening tissue between the light source and the target tissue. Okay, that means the body. So the body itself, if you want to go inside, you make sure that whether, for example, if my injuries is just behind the bone become the blocking, it blocks. So sometimes when you don't understand whether the injury is where is the roughly the injury, you go and place the what do you call it, your eye. How come it doesn't work? Yeah, because it could be because it is blocked by certain way. Because remember I told you the light can actually have four possibility. It has been blocked, or they be absorbed somewhere, or they even have been diverted, or they call it scattered. Okay. The next one, so it is very important to understand the characteristic of your body. Okay, we also talk about remember the fats. So, see, when a person who is very fat, especially on the tummy, when you want to do the stomach treatment, had to do a bit longer, because the stomach, the layer of fats can be the one that absorb, most of the light. So you need a more powerful one and more longer a bit. So these are the few things. So the perimeter of a body will also affect, or they will take will affect your treatment also. So this actually information I want to tell you, so that when you all go to your customer, you know how to tell them, hey, you have to take all this into consideration when you want to treat certain problem. The last condition is that, of course, the mechanism of delivery. What kind of equipment that you're using, whether you're using the LED or SLD, but our IM laser is actually use GAAIA laser aperture. So they are very suitable. They are used for everything. they can be used for every part of the body because they are they can actually penetrate up to 5 cm, because of the 650 nanometer wavelength. Okay, now we have finished the right equipment. That means we have the right equipment. We have finished with the right dosage. That means our equipment comes with our IM laser device comes with the right dosage. And thirdly, we also understand the body will actually influence the irradiation of the dose of the light energy. Now we are going to the final question. Why choose IM laser, our Vantros IM laser? Why? So I come up with 6 explanation, and I want you all to particularly take note, because this 6 explanation will tell us we are actually, our IM laser is a superior product compared to others. And then you talk about, of course, there are people who say they are very cheap. Cheap can be expensive. Why? I'll explain here. Okay. The first thing that I want to tell you, what is the IM laser? When you buy IM laser of Vantros, it comes with these 6 things now. The first thing that comes with it, you have the knowledge. You will know that you are buying equipment or laser. They call it the PBM device from a developer, not just manufacturer. We are not just manufacturer. We develop this product, this IM laser, over a period of time. Because of our 20 years of experience, we actually improve a lot of things. In fact, if you notice, we even spend a lot of money on R&D. And the know-how that I explain later, I will explain to you who are the people behind our so-called R&D team, and also those people who are the team of experts. So when you buy our IM laser, you are actually buying not just from a manufacturer, you are buying from a developer, and not only that, they are backed up by a team of experts. A team of experts to stand by, to answer, or to go through, or to explain whatever is necessary about your problems and then whatsoever. So this is the assurance. The second point that I want to highlight is that our product, our device had been proven many times effective and proven to be safe. Effective and proven to be proven in what sense? Because we already sold more than 1 million units worldwide. And thousands has benefited. In fact, I think thousands or more than a few 100,000 has benefited, whether in a big scale or small, in certain health issues and whatsoever. But there are so many, by the hundreds of thousands has benefited. So in short, we are telling them it's very effective and proven. If you have any doubt, you can always check with me, because we can tell you who are the people who actually, after this and after using our IM laser, they actually benefited. The third one, for your information, our IM laser, we are the pioneer in acupuncture therapy. That means we are the pioneers of introducing laser acupuncture into our device. In fact, if you notice, a few years ago, I think, or 3 years ago, we actually won a silver medalist in this Geneva Convention for silver medalist. Silver medalist. We won a silver medalist for this device. For what? For home use, because they were so fascinated. Because most of the device, or they call it this photobiomodulation, they come with big machine. The smallest will be probably the size of a computer, and many other sizes. But when they saw us, ours is just just like a watch designed like a watch, and it can perform the wonderful photobiomodulation. They were so impressed. That's why they give us this silver medalist for this design. But one point I want to highlight is that we are the forerunner, we are the pioneer in acupuncture. So we are the one who actually introduced acupuncture in this watch. They call it the watch-like kind of design. The third one, the fourth one, our devices are very reliable and safe. And this is very important. Remember, I told you that overexposed, overdose of this so-called light intensity can cause a lot of damages. And not only light intensity, there are other damages can be occurred. Like for example, if you notice our device, they are actually child-proof. Why is it child-proof? If you just by pressing one button, you will never on the IM laser. You have to on a certain button twice, then only the light will come out. This is to assure that, if children they were to get this device and then they simply press, normally they will not, the light will not light up. And light is very dangerous in a sense to certain people because of the, if it goes into the eyes, it can cause some damages. So anyway, we even consider that. Now, we also can consider, if you notice, when you are charging this IM laser, you notice you cannot wear it, you cannot use it, That means you automatically cut off, That is another reason also. It's the safety. It's a safety part. So now, not only that, there are many other section or other areas that we had to meet all the safety requirements and the reliability requirement. So for that, actually, our product is considered, because we meet all these requirements. That's why our product is considered medical grade device. And we have the medical device cert and ISO 13485, and we are the first in Malaysia and some country to have the medical device certificate. So it's very unique. Okay, very, very unique. Later on, I will go into the certificate and explain to you what are the things that we actually very proud of it. Because sometimes a lot of people, they thought that certificate is just something that you just get it, but there is a lot of work behind to get this certificate. Okay, number 5. We are the first, remember I mentioned earlier, we are the first in the world with 3 therapy, PAM therapy. What are P? Photobiomodulation, acupuncture therapy, plus magnetic therapy together in one device. So you're actually what? You're combining 3 devices. When you're wearing it, there are 3 therapy working in you. So in other words, the 3 therapy is working towards to heal and repair all your disorder. Hey, this is something very special. Okay. Okay, sorry. Okay, last but not least, okay, when you buy IM laser, you are buying not just the IM laser, you're buying the laser with a warranty. And this warranty, not only that you're buying the company that comes with the 5S service. Now for your information, this 5S not the 5S, the Japanese 5S, the management concept. This 5S, you're talking about what? Spare parts. We also we provide the service to service your equipment. We also provide customer feedback survey. And we provide also schooling. We even tell you, we can teach you how to use the device. You got any problem, you come and ask us. After using some time, you may have you need to know more about the information. We are always there for you to serve you. So you are actually working, you are buying this device, you are buying together with the 5S service that we are providing. Okay, now these are very important service because I was told some people, they go and order the one from the internet. Yeah, it may be cheap, but first of all, it didn't come. And then remember, it didn't come, it's okay. That means you may burn your money, But the other people, they actually bought it after less than half a month or 1 year or 1 month later, the machine break down. When it break down, you know how to repair. You don't know how to repair, so you want to send for repair. There's no repair. That's it. Your money gone. So sometimes cheap can be expensive, But over in Vantros, what we are providing the spare part. Actually, our older. I don't know whether you have seen our older version of the IM laser. Until now, we are still keeping the parts. Why? Because we know that in case those people after many years the battery the strap or whatsoever have any problem, we have all the spare parts to repair. Sometimes to keep these spare parts to get all these spare parts together is not a cheap investment. It's a big investment, but we willing. Vantros, we invest in this because we know that spare parts is a very important component of the business. That is why sometimes you can rest assured when you use our device, as and when after 2 or 3 years, 5 years later, you find that you have any problem, you come back to us, we can replace for you, we can change, we can service for you. We have all the 5S service. So this point itself is a very important point that I want to highlight because, like I said, if you notice, most of the things, especially technology, technology product, a lot of us people are emphasizing on the service, especially the spare parts. Of course, service in terms of knowledge, we even teach you not just about the product, We even then the customer can trust that his or her device to get the right maintenance and care, including spare parts that are original and approved. We only provide you the original part, so don't worry. So when you come to us, we provide all the necessary service. Okay. Now these are the 6 points that I highlight. That is actually I'm very sure that you can actually tell other people, don't buy those product, buy our product, because we come with, when you buy our product, it comes with these 6 points. Now I would like to highlight also. I'm very sure people will come to you. They say, hey, now you have something much more cheaper or something good. Now I would like to answer this. I will take this challenge become my advantage. The first thing I will answer now, I'm going to tell them, I say, wow, it's a good thing to us that shows that our product works. Otherwise, people will not come out with the same product to compete with us, right? Remember, we are the forerunner, or we are the pioneer in home use laser acupuncture. So we are the early people. So these people that come now, they are all the copy, or I would say, I'm not going to badmouth them. They are actually people who follow us. So we are there to show that our product is good and effective, which is a good point. Then on top of that, we have these 6 strengths to back up our product again. And I think with this kind of assurance given to our member, to the customer, I'm very sure they will think twice about buying other people this device. Okay. Like I said, I'm not going to comment everything, but remember the perimeter that I mentioned, there are so much about it. You want to find out more, there is a book to talk about it. There are so many articles in the internet, but most important is that you must understand this truly, this information. Then only you will notice why is it that you must get this Vantros IM Laser, because we have a reason why. Okay. Now, okay, with this, I'm going to go to the next one. Okay. Now, remember I mentioned who are the experts behind our IM Laser. For your information, this is the lady. Her name is Dr. Zhang Ping. Professor Dr. Zhang Ping. He's actually a university professor. He specializes in acupuncture. Now, she was the one who actually instrumental to become the instrument to the introduction of this laser acupuncture into our device. Okay, you can see here we have this Andrew. See this Andrew. So next time you must get Andrew to give talk, because he is the direct disciple of this lady. Of course, people ask me, where are you? Okay, for your information, I'm the one who take the photo, so you couldn't see me. Okay. Okay, just joking. Okay, anyway, this lady is a very fantastic lady. We were together. We went to Beijing to listen to her talk. She gave a fantastic talk about how he actually uses acupuncture to help in many other type of diseases. Now, the other lady who's in our expert and advisor is this Dr. Zhang Ting. Dr. Zhang Ting is the student of her. She and the husband, she is the one that actually came out with the first generation Ting IM Laser. They were the one who actually started that, and they are the one who started the IM Laser with the laser acupuncture. So she's the one. Now presently she's working with Tongren Yiyan, with the PLA. People Liberation Army of China, as a doctor advising, and then apparently she's also involved in the general maintenance of the health maintenance of the top political people in the CCM CCP. So he's a very knowledgeable person. We went there and she gave her a very good talk about diabetic and how our IM laser can help with diabetic. Very technical, even though I also find it difficult to understand because of the medical term that he used, but very fantastic. Okay, the third person I want to introduce is this Dr. Mr. Yang. Mr. Yang is actually presently in Shenzhen. He is actually with the company who's developing and also manufacturing our our product. Mr. Yang, I think some of you have met him. Mr. Yang, actually, his background is quite impressive. He used to be working for the PLA also, but in they call it in the submarine transfer of power division, So we asked him, actually, basically, in China, right, the submarine, they uses nuclear power. So he's involved in how to transfer this power into the submarine so that the power can actually take the action. So anyway, it's quite complicated. But his knowledge into this, his knowledge and expertise in this IM laser is beyond doubt. Because when we were there, he actually explained to us what is so special about our device compared to others. Okay, one day, if we can, we will have the opportunity to invite him to give a talk to all our members to further. Okay, and last but not least, I also want to introduce our Malaysian advisor. Actually, Dr. Ashwin. Dr. Ashwin is now is actually a practicing doctor, a medical doctor. He has his own clinic. He's now advising us. Now, why we work with Dr. Ashwin? Because Dr. Ashwin not only a medical doctor, but he's a doctor who actually quite expert in photobiomodulation, and he actually reads a lot, and he has done a lot of research and research and also reading about this photobiomodulation, and he actually shared with us his experience, and we are quite impressed. The knowledge that he has. So we are having him as our advisor. That is why off and on we invite him to give a talk, and I believe those people have heard his lecture were very impressed how we actually explain the IM laser help in certain sickness and diseases. So anyway, so these are the experts in our team. On top of that, there are a few other people not in here because I don't have the photo. They are actually also with us. So I think in short, when you buy this device, you are buying a device that comes with the expert and expert knowledge. Don't worry, we will give you, if any problem that you face or whatsoever you encounter, we have all these advisors to help you. Of course, they don't do it directly to you. They will actually advise it through us, and then we will give you the answer. Okay? Now, our quality and standard, this is a very important. Okay, the first certificate that I want to highlight is they call it the MedCert for medical, the ISO 13485. This is actually a quality management system certificate. So our product actually is produced by a company that has this 13485, who has all the necessary quality management certificate. Okay. Now, second certificate, which I think a lot of people never notice, is actually, they call it the EC. EC stands for European Community Certificate of Conformity. In this certificate, if you read properly here under this part here, Council Directive. The Council Directive 93/42/EEC, which is dated 14th of June since 1993, they actually required, because there are a lot of conformity that you must follow before you can get this cert. And I've actually taken out one of them, which is very relevant, because I think there are more than 30 or 40 conformity, and these are very relevant. In order for you to pass this so-called certification, you need to what? Whereas your medical device should provide patients, patient means anybody, user, and third party with a high level of protection, and attain the performance level attributed to them by the manufacturer. That means must have the performance, you must be able to perform, otherwise they don't give you. That means if I sell this product to you and you cannot work at all, or they cannot, even can work but cannot give you the required or desired result, you cannot pass. Therefore, the maintenance or improvement of the level of protection attained in the member state is one of the essential objective of this directive. See, so there are many more. If you look at it, the quality and standard, the quality and standards or safety standard stated in this council directive. If you go and Google search, there are so many. And I actually highlighted this to tell you that our device are really got high class, really got standard one, because we meet all this. Okay, so remember, this is a very, very important device you must highlight. Next one. Of course, we are because of this certificate and achievement that we have. That is why we actually in Malaysia we was recently given the medical device registration. This is the medical device registration. This is also very important certificate because if you don't, because remember, this device sometimes people, it's not a toy, You must understand, it's not a toy, it's not something that you use and then, play with it, It has a very important, or they call it, it has a very effective therapeutic effect, That means they can perform therapy, And the therapy is PBM therapy. That is why they classify this as a medical device. So medical device means what? It can have medical benefit. But of course, medical benefits, they also worry whether this device will cause a lot of harm or cause any adverse problem. Yes, this kind of thing, they will do all the tests. So we actually pass all the tests. That's why we are given this under this Medical Device Act registration. As you know, when we were we were submitting our product for tests by this MedCert, there were, I think, few hundred conditions to be fulfilled, including the test report as thick as I remember, it's about easily 3 inches. There are so many test reports. For those who want to find out, you can always come and see me. I can show it to you. They actually tested, they do a clinical test on certain part to show that our product is safe and effective. Okay. Okay, and then this is the world recognition that we actually received. Now, remember earlier I told you that we are the one of the earlier one of the pioneer in this laser acupuncture. And then when we submitted our product for review during the 47th International Exhibition of Invention in Geneva, we actually won the second place, the silver medal. If you read this is here, the invention was IM laser therapy able to restore your cell function and Chinese Jinglu in order to stay clean, healthy, disease-free with non-invasive way in the comfort of your home. Now, this is very important, in the comfort of your home, which means that our device has been actually recognized is actually a home use device. Now, why I want to emphasize this, because if you go into internet, there are so many clinical type of device that have been in the market. There are many brands, but for home use device like us, there are not many, only us. Of course, there are a few others who are actually copying. So I want to highlight this because this is a big market for our home use device. And that's why you notice, even though at this moment we already about 4 years plus, we have launched this product, I can tell you our market is so enormous. There is so much potential to we can actually achieve. So anyway, if you want to get all this certificate, it's all available in our office. You can see the original. Okay, thank you. So I have actually finished my presentation.